Horizon Forbidden West has just gotten done with its first major controversy, like pretty big stuff, which is the upgrade path from the PS4 to the PS5. That made a lot of people mad. Oh yeah. But there's a second layer of controversy that affects some of the products for Horizon Forbidden West, and I believe I have an answer for how to fix this particular problem that's going to benefit gamers now into the future. Let's cut right to the chase. I'm excited for Horizon's upcoming sequel, and it looks like we're going to get quite the game. Horizon has become, in my opinion, a pillar of Sony's first-party releases, and will be into the future. However, this game is beginning to exacerbate a problem within Sony's current and future releases, and that is the layout of Sony's special editions. This here is a special edition of Horizon Forbidden West, basically the entry-level special edition, and you'll notice here that this has a full physical PS4 or PS5 game, a steelbook, mini art book, and digital soundtrack. Now, what I'm about to indulge here is not dissimilar to another situation surrounding another collector's edition I documented some months ago, Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light for the Nintendo Switch. The link to that video should be appearing now. There are a couple of differences with that game's edition and this one, in which I will compare in a second. In this Forbidden West Collector's Edition, let's be honest, it has a lot of cool stuff in it. This edition retailing for $200. And this is the Regala Edition, the Superstar version of the Collector's Edition, selling for $260. I absolutely cannot argue with what they're offering here for extras. However, I do have a significant problem with the base offering, the game itself. To be clear about what we're talking about here, in both of the big boy editions of Horizon Forbidden West, you can only get a digital copy of the game. As in, there is no sign of a physical copy of this title in sight. Doesn't that seem a little odd? Sony and Guerrilla are offering you a huge physically based collection with no physical game. I personally have a significant issue with this as someone who wants to and enjoys buying collector's based editions. As unhappy as I am to see this, we do have to immediately acknowledge something additional, and that is the fact that Sony has released a physical and digital edition of the PS5 console. When Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light Collector's Edition came out for the Nintendo Switch, there was only a digital download code inside of that set. I found this to be tone deaf because, again, collector's editions are physical in nature, and to make matters worse, in that specific case, Nintendo doesn't sell an all-digital version of the Switch. This means them not including a game card for the Switch is inherently ridiculous. Sony, on the other hand, does have to officially cater to a discless market, since they decided to go all-digital for some customers, and in a way, this is how it does make sense that they would have a digital-only edition inside these collector's editions. So everyone, including digital console owners, can enjoy these special editions. Also, I believe that Sony feels that because they're offering an alternative entry-level special edition with a physical copy, that they believe they have covered their bases. I, however, do not. Now that we've discussed this problem, let's address what I believe Sony could do to fix this core issue. It's important to document that I'm not just one guy who doesn't like this all-digital game offering in these big-time editions, as many people on Twitter and in other social media locales have made it clear that they believe they should be getting a physical copy inside of the collector's and Regala editions as well. That said, it's also interesting to note that Sony and Guerrilla Games are offering a steelbook in both the collector's and Regala editions of this release, and there is literally nothing of note to put inside of it. That ultimately seems a bit silly to me. Sony is already printing many base copies of the PS4 and PS5 versions of Horizon Forbidden West, which means there won't be a shortage of these physical copies out there for purchase. This applies in two ways to the Collector's Edition. The original physical game will cost either $60 for the PS4 base physical or $70 for the PS5 version respectively, meaning that if you want a physical copy, it will cost significant money to obtain one. This also means that if you spend a ton of money on the collector's or Regala editions of Horizon Forbidden West, you would then have to spend a minimum of an additional $60 for a physical release of the game so that you even had something to put in your steelbook. This would make the collector's edition $260 to $270 total, and the Regala edition $320 to $330 total. If Sony has all of these physical copies already being printed, surely they could do something to satisfy their entire gamer base, right? I believe the main answer to this is to give the consumer an opportunity to make an important decision for them. Essentially, my answer is this: strip the collectors and Regala editions, in this case, of any game at all, and do not include it in the box. This would also go for every collector's edition that comes out for any other game for any other console. Now, before anyone starts going crazy on me for saying that, here's how you fix what I just created. You simply offer these collector's editions and special editions with the option of whether you want a digital copy or a physical copy along with it. Nothing more than a checkbox to decide what you believe your purchase should be. Does this make the process a little more difficult to navigate for Sony? In my opinion, barely. If Sony is set on the idea of offering a physical disc version of the PS5, and also allowing consumers to go all digital with special and collector's editions, I see no reason why the consumer does not get a choice to best suit them in this case. To me, incorporating this change with any company who is considering physical and digital copies of game they're including in special editions would be best overall, Microsoft and Nintendo included. I see no reason why the consumer should be shortchanged for purchasing really expensive editions of any game and not getting the game itself in a format that meets the consumer's best needs. Ultimately, I believe this to be fair and to keep everyone buying happily collector's editions from now and into the future.